All right, looks like we are logging in and maybe going live. I'll give people a second here for it to actually pop up. And welcome everybody. I'm super excited to be continuing our discussion about some of the nonprofits in our community and some of the organizations that are out there. And I'm excited to bring Bindi, who is the director of Joseph's Pantry. Welcome, Bindi.
Welcome. Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about Joseph's Pantry because I know for me it was an organization I had not heard of, and so super excited to share some information and get it out there.
Okay. We started in April. We will be 8 years old already.
Wow.
We started in the basement of Faith Center Freeport. Pastor Soul, knew that he wanted to do something to impact the community, something that we could do to bring people in, not only feed them physically, but to feed them spiritually as well.
Mhm.
So, kind of hey, Biddy, do you want to do the pantry? And I was like, sure. Wow.
The
A
thing,
huge life-changing decision that was. I'm glad I didn't put much thought into it. Otherwise, I would have said no. But I would have so many blessings and so many opportunities, so many fantastic people that we've met, that we've come in contact with, that we've built relationships and friendships with. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't change any of it for anything.
Right.
Um, we started out very, very small. We had 7 people our very first night. Then we had 27, and then we went to 57. And now we serve, thousands of people every month.
Wow. Wow.
So there is a need in the community, and there's so many myths about people um, that are using pantries. The money that they save by supplementing their household pantry with food that they get from the various pantries allows them to free up some cash to buy toilet paper, bath
Mhm.
soap, laundry soap, feminine products. That helps pay their car insurance, rent, all of those things that are very
Utilities.
necessary.
Right.
Water
Right.
bills are
Right.
outrageous. As soon as there's something that goes on in the city that we hear about it, because how are we going to pay this? How are we going to pay that?
Right.
So it really is, it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to give them just a little bit of assistance in that way,
Right.
and to build them up, because so many suffer from a stigma of, I never thought my life would come to this,
Mhm.
those things. But you know what? This is just a helping hand. We're not, we're here for a reason. And
Mhm.
so if we can help you, and that means your lights are going to stay on, then we've succeeded and you've succeeded. And,
Right.
we've had people come back to us that we haven't seen in a while, and they'll come in and they're like, we just wanted to let I finished school and I got that job. So now I've got my own apartment and I don't need you guys anymore.
Right.
And that's fantastic. We love to see that people grow and they do different things. We had a lady that she doesn't really have a home church, and the
Mhm.
pantry is really, because you have government money and you can't do this and you can't do that. But she would give us her tithes. Sometimes it was a handful of change, sometimes
Mhm.
there were some bills in there,
Mhm.
whatever. But then she took me by the hand a few weeks ago and she said, Bindi, I'm not going to see you anymore. And I'm like, oh no, what happened? I thought she was sick or something. She said, no, I got a job.
Mm.
So,
Awesome.
being faithful is such
Right.
a huge thing. And in one week, we had her, this was all one week. She came in, and then we had 2 other ladies come in and make donations. The
Oh.
one lady had done a buy one, get one free of the big package of toilet paper. She said, I know I could use it, but she said, I know you guys can use it more. So I
Mm.
just wanted to bring that in for you. And it's like, wow, we're supposed to be helping you guys.
Right.
So
Right.
we've built relationships with people, and
Yep.
that's the best thing about this, is the fact that we have built relationships with people. When we first started, we didn't we our whole setup was completely different than anything else anybody was doing. We were set
Mhm.
up like a grocery store. because that allows you the opportunity to make your own decisions. I
Right,
can give you a box of food, okay, but if there's peanut butter in there and you have a peanut allergy, then that's going to go to waste, you
right,
know,
right.
or you're going to throw it away or give it away. You know, it's not, we're not using it for what it's supposed to be. The second thing that set us apart from everyone else is the fact that we had personal shoppers. So the minute that you hit the door, you always have someone with you. Those were the two things that really set us apart. And then a couple of other pantries, you know, picked up on what a cool idea that was and they followed suit. So that's a good thing. Um, that was all before COVID, of course. So
Right,
since
right.
COVID, we have devised a drive-through thing. We're
Mhm.
located at 406 South Adams now, the Dream Center building. So
Okay.
it works out perfectly because they can drive in on the Washington Street and entrance and then
Mhm.
exit out on Adams Street.
Mhm.
So until we can get back to COVID, then we can get back to um, having more relationship time.
Right.
But even through COVID, we were able to, with Dr. Perry's help, we did a food dehydrator class. So I picked 4 ladies from the pantry,
Mhm.
clients that I thought would benefit the most and that would be really in for it. And
Mhm.
it was a huge success. They had a great time. They had no idea that they could do this or do that and make their grocery money go further. So
Right,
we had a
right.
lot of fun doing that too. So
Yeah, and fruits and vegetables and things like that are so
mhm,
expensive to be able to prolong that and divide them up and have
mhm,
something in the winter or, off season.
exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So they were
Yeah.
taught how to make, we gave them recipes. We had a little booklet that we created for them. So, over the course of the next couple months, they were sending me pictures all the time. Well, look what I made today, and look what I made today. And oh, my son just, so it's healthier options. So instead
Yeah.
of buying all that candy, they're dehydrating their own apple slices,
Mhm.
pineapple, mango, bananas, all of those things versus having all the not so healthy
Right. More junk
treats.
food and processed stuff and things like
Yeah,
that. Right.
yeah.
Absolutely. And like you said, I love the whole concept of being able to supplement and being able to
Mhm,
shop and say, okay, I'm really missing, like you said, I'm needing tuna or peanut butter, but I
mhm.
don't need,
Yes,
this bread or this, pasta or whatever it is,
exactly,
and so
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
You can only use so many bags of macaroni, you know?
Right,
You know,
right,
it's just, so right now, everybody gets the same thing. Everybody gets the same amount because all of our bags are pre-packed. The
right,
meat is pre-packed, everything. So it's very quick, it's in and out, and we're losing and they're losing, some of that relational
right,
part that we had before, but we will bring that back. I was able to
right.
do, our Facebook page has really been a huge success. I've really been putting out a bunch of recipes on there, super simple things, because a
Mhm.
lot of our moms and dads are working, so they don't have a lot of time. These I try to keep down to maybe 2 or 3, 4 ingredients, things that
Mhm.
I know that we've supplied in the pantry, so I know that they'll have it on hand.
Yep,
Um, so it will follow suit. If we're putting out flour and sugar that day, then I know we can follow up with this and that. So,
right,
and last week we got a lot of really positive feedback about that. They're like, keep putting the recipes out there. So
right, right.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out how we can do having the nurses come back in to do the blood pressure screenings.
Mhm.
We were the beta site actually for FHN, having the nurses come out in the community to see how it would be received.
Mhm.
And it took a little bit. We worked very hard to build trust with our clients. They
Mhm.
have to know that this is a safe place and that um, we're not going to do anything that's going to compromise them or anything like that. So once they were comfortable with seeing the nurses, they were like, here's my card. I'm ready to get, so
Right.
again, it's all relational. And now COVID is loosening up a little bit. We'll be
Mhm.
able to
Mhm.
bring some of that back in, do more videos with different classes. I actually have a lady that wants to do an online yoga class.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
whatever we can do to keep them engaged and let them know that they matter, no matter what life has given you, where you're at right now. We're going to meet you at your need.
Right. And like you said, and that's where a lot of the, meeting them in person and being able to
Hmm.
talk to them and find out, what is that need, is it,
Yeah.
and then connecting them with,
Hmm.
that right organization and, hey, did
Hmm.
you know that there's, this other organization out there to help too? So,
Right.
because a lot of people, having been through, difficult times in my life, you get in a
Hmm.
point where you feel like you are by yourself and you feel like, you
Yes.
have no option. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. So you talked about, thousands of families every month. So
Hmm.
what is something or some things that you have that you are in need of in the pantry? So tell us, how we can help refill
You
some of
know,
those items.
that would be cash is probably the best way as far as food goes,
Okay,
because my buying power with the Northern Illinois Food Bank, I can buy so
right,
much more with my money than you can at the store with money. But
right,
if
right.
I were
Good point.
to put something out there, it would be toilet paper, shampoo, conditioner, lotion, toothpaste, um, feminine hygiene products. Those are very expensive. And if you have a household with 2 or 3 girls plus mom, oh, that's a lot of
Right,
money. That's a lot of
right.
money. And they don't always, we call them gift packs, because when we're given things, we break them down to make them go further.
Mhm,
Um, and once or twice a month, if I have a supply, we'll do gift bags. So
mhm.
that's about the politest way I can put it with the guys around. It's like,
Right, right,
what do you, they know what's in there. They just don't want to know, you know.
right, right.
And
Yep.
it's a dignity issue. We want to make sure that we're um, being, yeah, appreciating their little spot they're in right there. But
Right.
feminine hygiene products, those things, laundry soap. If anybody ever wanted to do a laundry soap drive, that would be fantastic. Again, those are all items that they can't purchase with their link card,
Mhm,
and they have such very little cash.
mhm.
So those
Right, and
are
and they're
the
very
things
expensive items. I mean, that's,
they
very
are.
necessary, but very
Hmm.
expensive items.
Hmm.
So absolutely. Okay. So like we said, donation, dollars. Is there a link on your Facebook page to be able to donate from there?
No, not yet. But if
Okay.
they could, I mean, they could write a check, make it to
Okay.
Joseph's Pantry,
Okay.
and just mail it here, 406 South Adams in
Okay.
Freeport. And
Okay.
then I will make sure that that gets put where it's supposed to go, and then we can go shopping.
Okay, awesome. I don't know if also if you guys have signed up on Amazon. Amazon has smile.amazon.com. And
Hmm.
so when you're shopping on Amazon, if you go to smile.amazon, you can nominate or not nominate, you can say you want this nonprofit to get funds. And so Amazon will take, I believe
Oh,
it's 1% or a half a percent or something like that of any purchase made and donate it to that nonprofit. So it's something you
very
guys might look
nice.
into,
I
yeah,
will look
signing up
into
on
that.
there.
Thank you.
Because, who isn't shopping on Amazon? And so
Oh,
that way, a
I
little
have
bit
a
of their
problem.
purchase, right? It's they make it too easy. It's just as a problem.
Mhm.
So.
Yes. Yes.
So okay. Also, what about I know it's an all volunteer run
Hmm.
organization
Hmm.
because your full-time job is actually a hospice nurse, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, so thank you for that also because that
Thank
is a
you.
huge undertaking and a huge job.
Thank you.
It's an amazing organization, but it's a huge job.
It's a
So
privilege.
yeah, well,
It is.
I'm glad there's people like you because thank
Yeah.
God.
Thank you.
So, so like I said, all nonprofit, all volunteer.
Mhm.
What about people helping? What is your need there with people
If
helping?
if people are interested in volunteering, we do interviews. Um, that way they can see what goes on.
Hmm.
It's hard work, it's heavy
Hmm.
work. There's a lot of lifting, things like that, packaging, those kind of things. So I
Hmm.
like people to come down and look around and
Hmm.
see, you know, We are out in all kinds of weather. You know,
Hmm.
we did not close through all of this cold, even though
Right.
the ink in my pen was freezing as I was writing.
Hmm.
We were open for them, you know, and it gets hot in the summer. And but
Right.
we have the people that are drawn here have um, such a passion to
Hmm.
make a difference for somebody else, even if it's just taking the shopping cart out and helping load a car. You know, there's always something. And we have an actual roster, so the
Hmm.
more people that would want to come on board, that would enable us to rotate people out so it avoids burnout.
Hmm.
Because
Right.
I've had some
Right.
staff, you know, since our very first night, they've been here through it all. So, you know, they don't mind a day off every now and again.
Right. Right. Yep. Absolutely.
And if
Absolutely.
they want to get a hold of me for that, they can just call me. My number is 815-541-2861.
Okay.
Um, Make sure you leave a message, because if you don't, and I don't recognize the number, I'm not going to answer because I'm assuming you're calling about my car's extended warranty.
Right.
So,
Right.
but
Yep.
I will get back
Absolutely.
to you.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and like we said, you have a full-time job also. So,
Yes.
you,
So you can always
you,
message me through our Facebook page too. You can do it that
okay.
way. So,
Yep. Yep. And I'll have the link in there and then I'll add your phone
okay.
number as well. And so
Okay.
that way we've got that there. So just kind of reiterating, like I said, donations, they can mail a check. And most
Hmm.
banks also, if you're a person who doesn't do a lot of checks anymore, most
Hmm.
banks have an online check payment option that they will mail a check for you. So that's an idea for people to send checks. And like I said, that donation wise, as far as actual items, if you
Hmm.
have extra toilet paper, shampoo, conditioner, lotions, those personal items, that kind of stuff. So definitely do that. Um, and then people want to get involved, they can message you on the Facebook
Hmm.
page or
Hmm.
give you a call. Anything else we didn't cover, Mindy?
Um, I don't think so. There's so much, but I don't want to throw too much out there. I love to talk about the pantry. It's just, I mean, we've met so many amazing people, and I know there's more people in your community. And I'm going to ask everybody that's on the call, just look around your neighborhood or people that you're with. Is there somebody that you think, you know, she's older, you don't see her kids around very often? Is there something that she needs? We do offer, right now it's kind of quiet, some delivery for certain people, for certain, if we know there's a specific situation,
Mhm.
we do deliver because we have some elderly that can't get out. So we
Right,
make sure that we accommodate them, you know.
right,
We can't just do it just because you don't want to come,
right,
but that is something that we absolutely would consider doing. So
right,
look out to your neighbors, look out in your church and see, is there somebody that maybe isn't being serviced, you know?
right.
And there's no shame in having somebody help you.
Right. Well, and that's like you mentioned with an older population, there's a lot of pride and a lot of,
Very
I
much.
don't want to ask for help and
Yes.
I don't want to be a burden to someone. I hear that from my
Yes.
own grandmother. I don't want to be a burden
Mhm.
to you guys. I
Yes.
don't want to
Yes.
be, so much trouble.
Yes.
And it breaks your heart to hear
It does.
that, but yet
It
on the
does.
other hand, that's what, that's their feeling.
Mhm.
And so a lot of times we've got to step up and say,
Yes.
well, wait a minute, and pay attention, like you said, do you think
Mhm.
they're getting meals? I know my
Mhm.
grandmother, she can't stand and cook,
Right.
anymore really. She
Right.
can't, microwaving something is a lot for her, let
Yeah.
alone, actually cooking. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely. Yep.
And that, you know, that would be a perfect segue to perhaps Meals on Wheels,
Mhm.
you know,
Right.
and we are kind of a hub down here, because
Mhm.
if you ask me something and I don't know, you know, then I want to find out, because if you're in need, well, then how many other people are in need? And then
Right.
I want to make sure that people have the right information, you know,
Right.
because they have so many misconceptions. Well, I can't go there because I make too much money.
Mhm.
There's no requirements to go to any of the pantries other than bringing a photo ID and a current piece of mail. We don't
Right,
care about your income, because if you
right,
feel you have a need, then you feel you have a need, and we want to
right,
help you do that. And that is for any of the pantries in Stevenson County and the surrounding areas.
right.
There's
Right,
not.
which absolutely is a good point. And because sometimes people say, well, I make too much to get, link card assistance
Mhm,
or, so then
mhm.
I wouldn't be able to go to the pantry or I
And
make
you
too
can
much.
come.
And
Yep.
yeah, and a lot of times that is exactly why the pantry is there to be
Mhm,
that in
mhm.
between because they are not getting, assistance from link or other items. And
Right.
so, yeah, good point. Very good point.
It's funny that you would bring that up, because we are working with Northern Illinois Food Bank, and that's one of the things that we are addressing, is removing some of the myths that
Hmm.
are behind being able to access the pantry. Just
Hmm.
exactly what you said. Well, I make too much for Link, so no, that's a totally separate thing. So
Right, right.
when I have information on that, flyers or whatever it is, I'll reach out to you. So
Okay,
you ladies in your travels can, hey, I have this. Have you ever thought about that?
right.
And you'll use your discernment and know when you should or when you shouldn't. But if
Yep.
nothing else, it's always good information for you to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, a lot of it is just connecting people to the right, place and okay, or if we see something and, hey, have you thought about, checking into this or, looked into those options and
Mhm.
absolutely. So, well, I'm
Transport
super.
Transportation, I'm going to ask for one thing.
Mhm.
Transportation is
Uh-huh.
a huge thing. So if any of you ladies are hooked up with, I know the Pretzel City bus,
Mhm.
somehow there has to be a way again, even with COVID, that we can put one or two people on, drop them off at the pantry, run them through. You know, we would see more use if it
Mhm.
was more accessible.
Mhm.
But you
Yep.
guys can brainstorm that one.
Yeah, yeah, good idea. Okay. So good challenge there. And I'll put that also out to the group watching is okay, who might have a day a week or something like that, or an afternoon a week or something like that, that maybe we could, partner up and
Mhm.
do something and, be able to get people to come in. So absolutely. Yep. So I'm super excited to be able to, bring this. Like I said, I'll share their Facebook page. If you've got questions, message us, to
Mhm.
their Facebook page for the Joseph's Pantry. But just really wanted to bring light to, an organization out there helping thousands of people in our community and, always in need of donations and looking
Mhm.
for help. And
Mhm.
super excited. Thanks for your time, Bindi. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Yep, you too.
Thanks.